First piece of good news is that France can actually be quite affordable, which is probably a big surprise to a lot of folks watching today. Places like the Dordogne and even pockets of Provence, you're going to save up to 34% less than what we pay in the United States. And she paid about $230,000 for her home, and she pays an incredible $700 a year in property taxes. So great amount of savings there. Hello, bonjour everyone. This is Tula Rampant, the France correspondent for National Living. I'm here today to talk to you about the cost of living in France. First piece of good news is that France can actually be quite affordable, which is probably a big surprise to a lot of folks watching today. And this is in great part due to the health care, which is excellent and a very, very low cost, and the cost of housing, which can vary greatly around the country. So of course, if you want a penthouse apartment overlooking the Eiffel Tower, it's going to cost you quite a few euros. But if you want to looking into places like the Dordogne and even pockets of Provence, you're going to save up to 34% less than what we pay in the United States. Another good piece of news is that property taxes are about a tenth what we pay. For example, it depends on the region. South of France along the coast is quite a sought after area. We pay about $1,700 a year in property taxes for our home. That's about $430,000. If you're in the Dordogne, I know a woman who is exactly our same square footage. This is 2-bedroom, about 1,500 square feet, and she paid about $230,000 for her home, and she pays an incredible $700 a year in property taxes. So great amount of savings there. We're going to dive right in first off into housing costs. I mentioned they vary greatly around the country. I'm going to have to check my notes because I don't have all of these numbers memorized. But for example, if you're looking to currently get a 1-bedroom rental in Paris, which would be on the pricier side of things, you can start looking for $1,500 to $1,700 a month, which I still think is incredibly affordable compared to many rents that we see all around the United States. Those same figures are going to go down significantly depending on where you are around the country. So the same 1-bedroom in Strasbourg currently is about $872, city in the Alsace region, and in Pau, which is getting over into the southwest, not too far from the coast, it's $635 a month for a rental 1-bedroom. So you could see that it's going to vary greatly depending on where you want to live. Again, if you're looking to purchase something, currently in our area, we are near Toulon in the southeastern part of the country, a pre-existing home, or kind of an older style home, 2-bedroom. It's gone up a bit from what we paid a few years back. It's about $500,000 for a 2-bedroom, $500,000 currently to start. If you're going to go to somewhere like the Dordogne, that price is going to be cut literally in half, and many pockets of the Dordogne, which is in the southwestern, a little bit more central part of France, you can still find 2-bedroom homes, some that need to be refurbished for about $170,000, but you can find homes that are move-in ready for still under about $250,000, 2-bedroom, 2-bath homes on a plot of land. So that's an exciting difference. Of course, you want to research the area you would like to move to. As I mentioned, some pockets of Provence, especially away from the coast, if you go in even 45 minutes to an hour inland, the prices drop at least 20%. Currently, village homes in the very picturesque Provençal village of Cotignac, you can get a village home for under $200,000. Again, a 2-bedroom home. These village homes usually do not have an exterior space, but you're right next to all the boulangerie, the bakeries, and the local farmers market. If you want a standalone home with a little bit of garden, maybe just outside the village, you can look at paying about $340,000 to $350,000. Again, these are areas where a lot of expats have settled, so you already have a community established and you can get English speaking services. There are many, many areas, especially in Normandy and Brittany and Alsace and Lorraine, where you can find comparable, if even lower housing prices. It's just not as well established expat communities, so we tend to focus on those regions. Let's move on to food. So food you can expect for a couple about $600 to $800 a month. Of course, this is good just to depend on your spending habits, and if you like to eat out, a lot of the grocery stores have customer fidelity programs and they offer significant discounts. Something recently that coupons I got through my email were for a click and collect, which they call Drive, where you go pick up your groceries after ordering them online. And I have had 2 back-to-back coupons for 20 euros off with no minimum order. So I think that was pretty exciting. So a lot of discounts tied to your fidelity card and a lot of promotions happening often in supermarkets. Eating out, you can go Michelin star or you can go bistro. We tend to prefer the bistro because a lot of the bistro is what we would think of as almost Michelin star back home in the States. I was recently in Lyon and I had 3-course gourmet meals across the city for about 28 euro. This is lunch prices. Dinner prices will be a bit more, so about $31. If you want to go even cheaper, I just got a promotion from another bistro that I was connected to in Lyon, and they're offering just a dish of the day for 12 euro. So if you want to go for about 14 euro, of course you're going to tack on some wine. If you want to go, of course, every once in a while to a high-end restaurant, you can count maybe $36 for the 3-course meal to $38, and of course you're going to add on wine and coffees, etc. will be extra. Transportation. France has an excellent transportation system. It's one of the main things I enjoy about living in the country. I often take train rides to Paris or Lyon or Marseille or up the coast to Nice. One thing to keep in mind is that the standard train company SNCF runs very well, few delays, and they offer a discount rail service called WeGo, like we, like yes, yes we go in French. And if you book far enough in advance, and sometimes it's only a few weeks in advance, you can get really cut rate prices. For example, you can get a ticket from Marseille to Paris for about $17.50. So I often book in advance, and you can be at the beaches of Toulon in the morning, and about 4-hour, because it's a high-speed train, also this WeGo, O-U-I, go. You can be having lunch in Paris in the afternoon, so that's an exciting thing. They also offer a lot of senior discounts. You can get a 10-ride pass, for example, in Toulon, and cities like Lyon and Aix-en-Provence and Avignon and all around France will have similar offers where this, what did I say, was €7. Wait, yeah, $7. $7 will get you 10-ride pass, so you can do, for example, in Toulon, that would be a bus. In another city, that could be a shuttle, even a tram, or exciting thing in our area, the south of France, they even have what's called a bateau bus, which is a bus shuttle. If you want to get unlimited travel, it'll be about $38 for the month. So that would be unlimited travel around the city on any of the trams, buses, bateau bus, or shuttle services. Really quickly, as far as cars go, to fill up your tank currently on a small compact car, because gas prices are higher in Europe, it's about $55 to $66, and car insurance is about, with maintenance, about $78. That's on the high side. Again, depends on what kind of car you have. We have 2 cars. We have an older model, a Renault car, that we pay about $45 a month, and we have a second car which is a newer Toyota hybrid, and it's about 66 euros, so about $70 a month for the insurance. Really quickly, moving on to utilities. Electricity in France is on the cheaper side, definitely compared to the United States and to neighboring European countries. You can count about $955 to about $1,045 annually for your electricity bill. 1/3 of the homes in France have a gas, so they're heating by gas and they're cooking by gas, and that's going to be $933 a year on average. and water is about $33 to $44 a month. One of the last things we're going to touch on is healthcare. Very, very exciting. And if I had anything to recommend, come to France for the healthcare. Of course, the lower housing costs are exciting. Of course, the food and wine is wonderful. Healthcare is top. So frequently cited in the top 10 healthcare systems around the world and ranked #1 by the World Healthcare Organization a few years back. You're looking at 25 euros, so $27 doctor's appointments. And when you get onto the system after 3 months of living in the country, all you need is your long stay visa, which is detailed on the International Living website, and it's not difficult to get. And then you get 70 to 80% back on these already very low rates. So $27 to go to the doctor with 70% back, so you're seeing a doctor for about $9. It's a completely different system. The prices are fixed by the French government. I've been here, living here, since 2010, and the prices have not changed. So you're not going to get wild surprises. You can go to any doctor you want. There's no networks to join, no age limitations or pre-existing restrictions. It's a very, very exciting thing. Another very quick excellent benefit, almost unbelievable, on the French healthcare system is that if you fortunately got a long-term illness, or so cancers, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, any of the terrible things unfortunately that can maybe touch some of us in older age, those treatments are 100% covered under the French healthcare system. So it's a very exciting plan. You look on, pop on over to the French healthcare information page on the International Living website to really go into detail. Lastly, if you're thinking about any kind of extra costs, one thing that I would really outline is that if you're looking to rent an apartment, you'll have what's called a copropriété fee, which is kind of like a building maintenance fee. Those can vary greatly, so you might be paying something as low as 20 euros, so about $22 a month, to up to over 100 euro plus a month. So that's kind of a hidden fee. I wouldn't say exactly hidden because it'll be outlined when you go look for a long-term rental or short-term rental, if you're working with a property agent, or if you're just looking on a listserv, it will say what fees are not included, but what fees are necessary when you're going to rent the apartment. But just make sure that you are aware that those fees can vary greatly. For example, here we are, beautiful south of France, and our fee, because we are in a housing tract, a very beautiful sunny place with lots of greenery, but it's a housing tract, and we pay about $375 annually for this kind of condo maintenance, copropriété, communal living fee. So they will outline and tell you that's all included, but it's something to keep in mind. Renters and homeowners insurance you get through your bank generally, and on average renters insurance is about $273 a year, and homeowners insurance is about $408 a year. So I hope you enjoy this cost of living in France, and I hope to see you come on over and live la belle vie in beautiful France. Au revoir.